What's up, guys? This is Anish and Dinal back again for the second episode of the Deep End podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
t-
I bet you all thought we were some one hit wonders.
yeah,
No.
I think today is gonna be like for all of you guys saying that we were, if you guys know us, you're saying that we were up a little too serious. We were getting a hang of it. I think today's episode will be a lot more loose, a lot more, flowy. Hopefully. Um, so with that, I guess we can get right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about one of our favorite topics. The NBA playoffs is um, going strong now. We were supposed to record this episode actually a couple of days ago, but Denal was actually in town in California over the weekend, and I guess we thought it would be kind of weird to record the podcast sitting right next to each other, so we waited for him to go back home. Um, so yeah, I mean, well, Denal, you want to give them the Instagram and all the social media stuff as
Oh,
well before we
yeah.
get
Yeah.
started?
So after that first episode dropped, so we got it up on a bunch of platforms. So our Instagram is at the deep end underscore pod. That was like the only variation of the name that wasn't taken. So that's what we went with. And then yeah, we also launched on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. I think
Apple Podcasts, yeah.
Apple Podcasts. Oh, shit, I didn't even know that was a thing. All right.
Not me neither. I thought it was Apple Music, honestly.
Yeah. So the links for those we got up in our Instagram bio. Um, yeah, I guess that's really probably the only way to check us out. If you try searching up the Deep End podcast, there's probably gonna be like 100. So if you go on those other platforms and you want to find it, try searching up like for the time being at least our episode one name, tariffs and tribulations. I think then you'll probably be able to see it.
Yeah. So for now, we're pretty fresh in onto the podcast scene. Hopefully, maybe in a couple months, you'll be able to find us a little bit easier. But for now, like Donald said, you can look up our episode one title, "Tariffs and Tribulations," and we should be able to. We should be the first match because I don't think anybody else is coming up with that creative of a name. Um,
It wasn't that crazy.
it was hard though. It was
Yeah,
hard.
no, it was hard. It was hard. I was I was like, Loki, damn, he's nice with it when you sent me
That
that.
that alliteration, it just came into my head. I'm just like that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to cook another one up for this episode.
Yeah, it'll come to me pretty quickly. But yeah. So that being said, I know we're like the playoffs already started, but I think me and Denal are both gonna give our, playoff brackets, and some of the main award choices. We're just gonna skip the NBA, all NBA team. I think it's pretty obvious who's gonna win at least the All NBA first team. And I guess frankly, I'm not really that interested in taking the time to go over the All NBA second team and All NBA third team.
Nah,
So we're
that's
gonna, yeah. So I think we'll probably go and towards the end of the episode, we'll probably talk about a more interesting angle concerning the NBA, and hopefully you guys will be more interested in that. Um, so
yeah.
with that, Denal, you want to start with your NBA bracket? I know your team isn't in the playoffs for like what the eighth, 10th straight year, but
No, no, actually, we were in the playoffs in 2021. So like, yeah, my team
really,
is the Washington Wizards. We in 2021 we played the Sixers in the first round. Um, we lost 4-1. We got absolutely killed. But I actually went to one of those playoff games, like one of the home games, and we won that one off like a Rui Hachimura clutch three from the corner. That shit's burned into my head.
wait, I'm
You looking
completely
skeptical.
blanking. Who did they have on their roster that they made the playoffs in 2021?
That was Russ, Rui, Beal. Uh, who else? And that was like our big three. Um, it was one of the
Oh,
Russell Westbrook year.
it was after the bubble when the Rockets traded Russ for John Wall, right? In that
Yeah,
goofy
yeah,
deal.
yeah. That goofy trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made it with like the 8 seed or 7 seed or something.
Yeah. What were the Sixers? I don't remember if the Sixers were one that year, so we might have been eight, if not, yeah, seven. It was we were not high seeded at all, but like it was still cool going to a playoff game from my team and actually seeing us win.
Yeah, no, I guess it's cool. And the entire team is different now, right? Like they shipped all those players, complete rebuild.
our team is so young. Our average team age is like low key younger than me. Like that's kind of
Is it
crazy.
actually?
It's like really close. Like it's probably like around 22, 23.
I mean,
But
honestly,
yeah,
with how weak the East is, I can see them being like a fringe 8 seed in like the next couple of years over the freaking Heat or the
uh,
Hornets or one of those crappy
uh,
teams. That
like if these guys develop correctly, yeah, I could see them sneaking in eight over some of those teams. But like as of now, they're like way too young and inexperienced, and like we have a lot of we have a top three pick this year guaranteed. So or not guaranteed, but we have a top three
knock on
chance at
wood.
getting
Yeah.
the number one this year. So like if we were to somehow get Cooper Flag, I don't think the league is gonna allow it because the fucking lottery is rigged as shit. It's so rigged. But if somehow we were allowed to get Cooper Flag and he develops with the rest of these guys, like I say, in 5 years we could be like a decent playoff contender. We could get we could get past round one, I think.
Who's your coach?
Uh, oh fuck, who is our coach? Um,
Nah,
we might have swapped it.
honestly, that's fair. I blanked on my team for like a little bit while they were bad, but um,
Yeah, you know who Brian Keefe is?
hell nah. Who the hell is
Yeah,
that?
our fucking coach.
Holy shit! Wow.
It's straight irrelevant.
Well, we'll see what they do. But for now, you want to go over your playoff picks and who
Yeah,
you have in
so
who you have winning the series and who you have in the finals.
yeah, so like Anish said, we were meant to record this earlier. So my prediction, both of our predictions are from a few days ago. I think when only game ones had been played.
Yeah,
So some of these might be looking off now after a couple games have been played. But okay, yeah. So I'll start in the West, right? So we got the Thunder and the Grizzly in round one. So I had that being a 4-0 Thunder sweep. Like
yeah.
they've just been way too dominant this year. Like fifth most wins, tied fifth most wins in NBA history in the season.
Oh, I didn't even
And
know that. That's crazy.
yeah, 68 wins. They had an insane year, but I don't know. The Grizzlies are like one of those fringe playoff teams, pretty much. Like they'll make it through the play and they'll squeeze their way in, but I don't think they're competitive enough like to take down a one seed or even a game.
I
It's
agree.
actually game three going on right now, and the Grizzly are lucky they're winning with 4 minutes left. But I, they'll find a way to choke it, is what I think. So
Yo, they're only up by 2 points now with seven
I
minutes
know,
left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thunder are gonna make that comeback. But yeah, so I think that's pretty. I think most people will agree with me there. Next series, we got the Nuggets versus the Clippers. So this series, like at least after the first two games, they've been looking really good. But originally, I had the Clippers in seven. I just think the Nuggets, with their like little end of the season fall off with firing their coach and GM on the same day,
Yeah.
like right at the end of the regular season, it's crazy timing. Like you're really putting a lot on Jokic's back and like Jamal Murray to really turn up in the playoffs. They need those two to go off absolutely every night if they want a chance now. So and also this Clippers team has low key surprised me. I thought like it'd be a real like scrap for to win this, but at least these last two games the Clippers have been playing nice. Like Kawhi looks like he's back. James Harden's shot is low key somehow back. Like
Yeah.
I think yeah, Clippers could do some damage even to in the next round. But yeah, for now,
They probably gave Kawhi like a robotic like a metal knee like they gave Winter Soldier.
yeah, for real, bro. Whatever that doctor did to Kawhi's knee, bro, is
But
actually medical.
knock on wood, he makes it through the entire playoffs. I think the NBA is a lot better when he's healthy. I think it's
I
really
agree.
entertaining. One of
I
the
agree.
best players of our generation for sure.
He's such a great two-way player. Like it's just all around entertainment watching him play, especially back in his
Yeah,
prime, like when he was defensive player of the year caliber. Man,
of course. Yeah.
that guy was crazy. Fucking cost LeBron a ring too. Uh,
Yeah.
speaking of the goat, next up we got Lakers versus Wolves. So this one, there's so many haters talking about the Wolves are gonna actually win this series, but I didn't see it from day one. I didn't see it after they got smoked in game one. I still don't see it. Like Lakers in six. I won't agree with Shannon and Lakers in five. I think
Why in six?
maybe
Why you think six?
Okay, so I mean, I was like all in on like the Lakers in five at the start of the
Yeah,
playoffs, but that game one whooping was like pretty bad. I think the Lakers will get their shit together, but that just goes to show you like Ant didn't even go off in that game. Like that was like Nas Reed taking over. So
but
like
historically, you know that LeBron game one is always a feel out game, right? Like
yeah, that's true too.
LeBron probably, if you had to do a stat comparison on how many game ones he loses and how many series he ends up winning after losing game one, it's probably a pretty large number. I feel like he always loses game one.
Yeah, I saw the difference. It was uh, I can't get the exact numbers, but when he wins game one, he's like 33 and like 2 or 3 or something like that. And when he
Yeah,
loses game one, he's like 12-11. So yeah, the chances of him winning the series drop a lot. But history still favors him to win after losing game one. So
yeah,
I'm not too worried about that. They had a solid game too, and I think Lakers in six. I think they'll probably drop another game. Ant's gonna go off for like 45. He'll knock down like 9 threes at
yeah,
least, and then yeah, that's going to be a game that we like. He's just unstoppable. We can't avoid it. So I think that will be their second loss, and the rest of the games should be calm. Like Luca has found his stride now. I think
yeah.
he's like in form, and Austin Reeves, like since the Anthony Davis Luca trade, he really stepped up. Like I'm going to be talking about him later for like a serious contender for most improved player. At least
Of
I think
course.
so.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, so far in these first two playoff games, he's been a little bit disappointing. I want him to get a little bit more consistent. And then yeah, last up in the West, we got Rockets and Warriors, and it's funny because Anish is actually a Rockets fan, and like half of our fucking friend group is Warriors fans. So shit
It's a
goes down in the group
it's
chats.
a constant fight in the group chats all the time.
Constant fight, constant fight. And if any
Um,
of you guys caught that game two,
so
yesterday,
yeah.
oh my goodness, the amount of fucking fouling and scrappiness going on in that game, like, was low key mad entertaining if you're not a fan of either team. But oh wow, our Warriors fans friends were going ballistic. Like they were
I'll talk about my take on that later, but
yeah.
I'll let you finish first. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, either way, sorry Anish, but I'm picking Golden State in seven here. I think the
You
Rockets
have
are a
them going to
great.
seven. Okay.
I do have them
Okay.
going to seven. I think the Rockets are a
Okay.
great team. 52 wins, really solid year, second in the West. But I think they're still also like a bit young, led by Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun. They're all like super young, or like,
Yeah.
yeah, relatively pretty young in the NBA. So I think the lack of experience going up against this Warriors squad that's, seeing, I think in out of active players, Jimmy, Steph, and Draymond are all in the top 10 for minutes, playoff minutes played for active players. So like the
Dude,
amount of playoff experience is crazy.
if you really think about how intimidating that is, these kids are like, it's crazy because these guys are like our age now, right?
Yeah,
That would be
younger even.
that would be like the fucking equivalent of like competing in a hackathon as like a new grad competing against like principal engineers, and
Yeah, actually,
you're
bro.
trying to win, and you just know you're gonna get smoked. So like
Actually,
you have to feel for them, but I think they're doing well. They have a bright future. But yeah, you have them going to 7 games. It's more than I had them going to. But yeah, I'll let you
I
continue. Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, I think just purely based off of their regular season, I don't want to take that away from them. They were the second best in the West. Like they had a great year. I think they're capable of taking some games off the Warriors. We saw yesterday, and now Jimmy could be out for game three now.
Yeah.
Um, so if that's the case, like honestly, it should be an easy take for the Rockets. I would expect them to at least take a 2-1 lead. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's my West. Do you want to go over yours?
Yeah, sure. Same thing. Thunder and Grizz. I got Thunder sweeping it. Um, just a telltale sign. Thunder have a better coach. Um, the Grizzlies are also another stupid ass team that fired their coach right before the playoffs. I don't really understand. I don't really think Taylor Jenkins was that bad of a coach either. I think they had other problems um, that they needed. Firing coach before the playoffs is always so weird to me because you're basically just seeing the entire season to scrap, right?
Yeah,
Because
pretty
you fire
well.
a coach, but like you fire your coach like before the playoffs, you're just nerfing your entire season. It doesn't really help your chances much.
Yeah,
But whatever the case might be, the first two games, Shea doesn't even play well, and they still win. and now I don't have the live score, but they're shooting, they're in
It's
winning distance now. So
they're probably gonna win. 40 seconds left. They're up three.
the Thunder are up.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So I'm saying sweep on that for sure. I have no doubt in my mind that they're sweeping.
it looks like it.
Um, Nuggets and Clippers. Well, the thing is, Jokic. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on a star like that. I feel like firing the GM and firing the coach, especially a coach that, I mean, we haven't seen anything come out, but I want to say that Coach Malone, like Jokic has a lot of respect for Coach Malone. They won a championship together, um, and now they have so many mic'd up moments during the games and stuff. This guy is literally holding the clipboard. Like I don't know if David Adelman, their backup, their assistant coach, is a good coach or not, but Jokic is calling everything. It's almost like when they call LeBron the GM, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Jokic is calling all the shots, and it's just a true testament to the type of player he is. So not I don't really want to count him out, but that team really doesn't got much without him, right? And
They
Ty
got
Lue's
nothing without him, bro.
they got nothing without him, and I think Ty Lue is a great coach. They got Kawhi back, who's healthy. Um, Zubac playing at a high level is one of
Mm,
the top defending bigs in the league, and
yeah,
particularly really good at defending Jokic. I don't
great
see the
matchup.
series. I don't see the series going the Nuggets' way. Um, I see it going to six, and then the Clippers taking it. Um, but yeah, that's where I stand on that.
Mm,
When the Lakers and Wolves, I think I'll keep it simple. Like I see the series going the distance just because Randall had a good game in game two. They got players that can go on runs. You know what I mean? In the playoffs, it's anybody's game. All that matters is winning, right? Ant doesn't have
mm,
to have a good game. They have guys who are more than willing to put the ball in the hoop, and can put the ball in the hoop. Nas Reed, um, Jaden McDaniels is not known to be an offensive player, but he can get hot. I think honestly that cat trade is almost, in my opinion, we won't know for a while, but it could age almost as poorly as a Luca trade, in my opinion. Because you're talking about, the Wolves. The Wolves were contenders to go to the finals last year. You know what I mean? Like they were a
yeah,
freaking good team, right?
yeah,
Um, and I don't know how much better the Knicks are going to get with the addition of Cat, but I do know how much worse the Wolves have gotten. You know what I mean? They don't have that second
mm,
scoring threat. And
yeah. That's right.
Randall's just not that. I think they were looking for Randall to be something like that and maybe get off the money from Cat's contract, but it's not going to do it. I had Lakers in seven. Um, and then when it comes to the Rockets and the Warriors, I was really confident going into the playoffs the first time we made it. I think since the bubble, I believe. So it's like what, 5 years now. The one team I didn't want to see in the playoffs was the Warriors. I was hoping they would get eliminated by someone else, and we happened to see them in the first round. It is what it is. I mean, I think Steph, um, he's just an unbelievable talent, and yes, I do think he gets fouled more than it gets called. I'll talk about my take on that later, but I don't really see the Rockets taking more than two games. It's not me being a bad fan or anything. It's just I'm a realist, and I don't really see us taking more than two games. We do have a really bright future. With Jalen Green as your main scoring threat, yeah, like I don't expect to go that far. But that being said, if miraculously we can get past the Warriors, um, say Jimmy Butler is out more than expected or whatever the case might be, I think we do go the distance of the playoffs. I think the Warriors are probably the team that could give us the most trouble. And yeah, that's what I have for the first round. Do we want to go over East first round, or do we want to finish the West and go East?
Um, let's go East. Let's mix it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the East, uh, same way the Thunder in the first seed 8 seed matchup, I got Cavs
Oh wait. So
sweeping it.
there's so we have the same four teams moving through in the West, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Uh, I have the Cavs sweeping it. I guess the Heat put up a fight late in the game, and I believe it did it go to OT. I wasn't watching it, but I just
Oh,
saw. I don't know if it went to OT or not,
I
but
don't
I
I don't
remember
think
it.
it did.
No, I didn't go to OC, but it was a close-ish game. I still think the Cavs win in four. Um, again, better. I mean, they just have a better roster, in my opinion. It's not really anything complex there. In terms of Pacers Bucks, I have it going. I when I wrote the prediction down, I said put Pacers are gonna win in five.
Oh,
Um, and it turns out the Pacers, I think they swept the season series against the Bucks this year. So the Pacers
oh,
are sneaky good. Like they're actually they
really?
have yeah, I think they did sweep the season series. I can
I didn't know that.
yeah,
I thought they split. I thought they split the season series.
let me look it up right now.
But yeah, I mean that's a yeah. I mean I also had the Pacers winning, but in five that's a good take I guess because they've clapped them these first two games. Giannis has dropped 70 points combined in the first two games, and they still
Yeah.
haven't won. Like I know they haven't had Dame, so I mean that's something. But um, he's
The
going to be
thing
coming back now.
yeah, the thing about the Pacers is they're just insanely deep. I mean, you got Andrew
Yeah,
Nembhard,
same.
you got Aaron Neesmith.
Dude,
This guy,
they never have anyone put up over like 25 to be honest, and they still
yeah,
drop
and
stupid
it's
amount.
probably because I mean Tyrese Halliburton. They said like they had multiple players. Elect him as the most overrated player in the year. I think it's
Yeah,
bullshit. Obviously, I probably don't know more than an NBA player does,
that's
but I think in terms of Tyrese Halliburton, I think he's a little passive when it comes to shooting sometimes, which people don't like. Um, but I think he's a great player. You're talking about one of the best passers already in the league in his
yeah.
first few years in the league. Rarely turns the ball over, distributes at an insanely efficient rate.
I
Yeah, I have
agree.
the pit.
He's definitely one of the best playmakers, but I mean I can see why his bucket getting is a little bit like iffy. Like his shot, like honestly, like it goes in, but it just looks so fucking ugly to me. I don't know why. Like it looks like
Dude,
it should not be
people
going
are
in.
hating on this guy. I think he's shooting like 40% from the three, like on his career in
Oh,
the first three seasons. He's
no,
an
yeah,
insane.
dude, especially last year. Last year he was going stupid from three.
He's an insanely good shooter. He's an insanely good passer. I mean, I say other than his, attitude towards scoring, he's one of the best players in the league and definitely one of the best guards. Um, okay, moving on, the Knicks and Pistons series. I got the Knicks winning that. I know a lot of people have the Pistons winning that because I think the Pistons they're leading. They led the season series, and Knicks have struggled against above 500 teams, about point 500. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
And all these games have been close between them. I think the Knicks won again today, so
they
they're
did.
leading. They're leading 2-1. Uh, yeah, I just think at the end of the day, the Knicks are still more talented, and the Pistons are one of those younger teams. The other thing with the Pistons, they're really deep too. I haven't seen Jaden Ivey play at all. By the way, is he injured?
I think he was hurt for a good amount of this year. I don't know about right now in the playoffs, but
Okay,
actually, I think he probably is. I haven't seen his name on
I
any of the
think
stat
yeah,
sheets.
I haven't seen him play at all. I think their other scoring other than Cade is coming from like Dennis Schroeder, who's been playing pretty well, Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris here there. I just don't think it's enough to get it done. Mind you, also Mikal Bridges is playing like absolute terrible basketball. Like it looks fucking horrible. I don't know.
What happened to his jumper?
I
This
think
thing's
he
butter.
was fucking around with his jump shot over the offseason, and now it's a straight brick.
That's
Like I don't,
terrible. That's a
I
shame.
don't,
He had a beautiful jumper before Loki.
and I think if he was what they expected to get when they traded for him, I think they would be a lot better. But
Yeah.
and maybe who knows? Maybe he'll pick it up. I don't know what's gonna happen. But then for the Celtics Magic series, I have the Celtics winning in five. Just complete dominance. Tatum didn't even play last game and they won. Um, you know, I can see the Magic stealing a game at home, maybe, but I see the Celtics coming out of it pretty easily.
Yep.
You want to go over your picks?
Yeah, real quick. So yeah, same thing. I had the Cavs in four. They were like what the third best team, second best team in the league this year. The Heat are just, in my opinion, very reliant on a Tyler Hero like hero ball game. That's the only way that I could see them maybe sneaking a game. But other than that, Cavs in four. I had the Pacers going in seven. I thought Giannis. Well, I mean, I can't even say Giannis has not been playing good. He's been going insane. But
Yeah,
I think like he's due for some like 40, even maybe a 50 piece. So I think in a game like that, the Bucks are they're gonna have to take it. There's no way. Also, probably getting Dame back for game three, I'd assume. I think if they can take game 3 and 4, Loki, yeah, they could. Because both those are going to be at home for them. Yeah, I think they could even up this series, and then I see it going the distance. But like you said, the Pacers' depth is Loki just too much. I think they'll just barely edge them out in 7. And then yeah, as for Knicks Pistons, I have that going 6, and I have the Knicks winning. Same reasoning, pretty much. Uh, the Pistons are hella nice. Cade has had a very underrated, like slept on year in my opinion. Like I think he should be considered for more awards. But I think yeah, the Knicks like they've just got too much. Like Cat unlocked a new level going to New York. Bridges isn't even playing good, like you said, and they're still cooking. Jalen Brunson has hit his absolute foul baiting bag. As much as like
Yeah,
we hate to see it as fans, like it's gonna get the job done for them, I think. But
yeah. It's
he's losing aura by the day, but as he keeps doing that shit, um,
miserable to watch.
it's so bad. Uh,
Yeah,
and then yeah, finally I got Boston in 5 against the Magic. Same thing. I could Magic are like too new, too young a team. Like I don't think they have the pieces to take down the reigning champs. Like I think the Celtics are going to be way too much. They're actually just a super team right now, low key. And yeah, I think yeah they'll sneak one game in. Paolo has that like power to go off for like a good 40 piece. So I think
yeah.
if he can do that, they can sneak in a game. But yeah,
So he has to, so he has to drop 40 to beat them.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
minimum. But yeah, that's the first round of the playoffs. We have the exact same picks.
yeah. Okay, so moving on, second round of the East. I got the Cavs winning in 7, but fun fact, the Pacers are leading this. They led the season series 3-1.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Damn.
So honestly, I can see that. I can see that series going a little. That's why I had it going to 7. I still think the Cavs edge them out.
Hmm.
Pause, but I still think they win that series. But I think it goes the distance to 7. Knicks Celtics. I got the Celtics smoking them 5 games. The Knicks just have not done well against you know good teams this season, and personally, I just think the Celtics have everything going for them. They're just a well-oiled machine, good coaching, insane depth too.
Hmm.
Peyton Pritchard could probably be a starter on half the teams in the league.
Yeah.
Um, and they got guys who are willing to take that, you know, a more smaller role to win a championship. Um, so
Yeah.
that's what I got in the East. I'm just gonna go what I have in the West, and you can go.
Yeah.
The West, I got the Thunder winning against the Clippers in 5 games. I don't know if you have it going that short. I just think, in my opinion, I'm a strong believer in the Thunder. Despite how young they are, I just think they're pretty much the Celtics. They're just young, and they have a great coach too. Yeah, I really believe in the Thunder, and I just don't think the Clippers have what it takes to beat the Thunder. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the Lakers and the Warriors, um, by the way, I saw a clip of Luca in his rookie season. The guy was so fit. It's not even the guy had definition in his shoulders and everything. He had bounce.
Yeah.
I think the fact,
I mean, bounce is crazy. He could like barely two-hand dunk the ball.
bro,
He wasn't.
did you see the dunks he was throwing down, bro? First of all, he can still put someone on a poster. He still can, right?
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
It would probably take like the life out of his knees. First of all, I don't even know how you gain that much weight as a
Dude,
professional
it's.
athlete.
I mean, it makes sense, bro. He came from Europe, probably eating mad clean food, and then he comes to the U.S. and he's fed like nothing but like processed like garbage.
But
Like
I'm saying, like, even Zion, like they talk about Zion's weight and everything, right?
that's just like a lack of self control.
But the
That's
thing
a.
with Zion is you can still see like the muscle, bro. Like you can
I
still
mean,
see
yeah.
he's got something.
Well, you like we can tell Zion hits the gym like regardless of how much he like eats. Like he's still packing on muscle and like that man's
Yeah,
also
like,
just like naturally gifted with like some athleticism. Like
well,
Luca
yeah,
doesn't have that.
obviously, yeah, he's got the genes. But
Yeah,
anyways, I think the Warriors beat the Lakers, honestly. Um, and we'll go over how they've changed after the Jimmy Butler trade. But I think post Jimmy Butler trade, let me say that their seed is not representative of how good they are as a team at all. I think the Warriors are freaking good, especially with Butler on the floor, especially in the playoffs. I
Mm.
just don't see the Lakers beating them, especially they have some roster problems with they couldn't get a good big to replace AD after the trade. And Reddick is coaching his ass off. I saw a clip of him like he calls a timeout. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" Like he's so pissed. And
Yeah,
you really need a coach like that to coach someone like Braun, who's so good and is used to honestly being the coach because he just has the ego and he has the presence. And then you have someone like Reddick with the insane IQ that he has that he brings to the table. Um, I think they needed that coach to get this far, and it would take a coach like that to get them this far. Like the defensive changes he was making, the way he was calling switches, and he was playing a specific type of defense. So they had a name for it, but it was basically compensating for the lack of size that they had and lack of personnel. It was basically just insane amount of switching. But yeah, I have the Warriors beating them in six. And you can go with your second round picks.
yeah. So for the second round, I also had the Cavs over the Pacers. I did not know the Pacers were 3-1 against them in the regular season. That's kind of crazy. I thought the Cavs were nicer than that. So I had the Cavs winning that in five. Uh, I thought, I don't know. I just thought the Cavs were mad stacked. D. Mitch, he's been in the playoffs a couple times. He's like a little bit more used to it, I think, than these Pacers players who it's really only been like last year, maybe the year before.
Yeah,
Um, but I think Cleveland like they just had way too nice of a season to go to seven. But I don't know. Looks like by the regular season, you might be right there. Then yeah, I had Boston taking down the Knicks in five. I think the way the Knicks are playing right now is not good enough to win multiple rounds in the playoffs, and it was unfortunate that they'll probably be matching up against Boston in the second round. That's honestly like in my eyes pretty unbeatable team right now in the whole NBA. And yeah, so then OKC, I have OKC beating the Clippers in six instead of five. I'm also high on them. Like it's one of the best seasons that a team has had in a while. Um, I think the Clippers are just honestly like very underrated. I was like underrating them like hella. So
yeah.
I think it was like at least just the start of these playoffs. It's kind of a little bit eye opening for me. I think they could do some damage to the Thunder, but ultimately I don't think they'll get past them. And then yeah, Lakers Warriors. So might be a little bit of bias. I'm a huge LeBron fan, and like I claim Lakers now because the Wizards are ass, and like I need some like playoff team to follow. I
Yeah.
can't just sit here not following someone. So yeah, I have Lakers in six for this series. I think obviously Jimmy Butler is probably one of the best playoff risers out of like active players right now. And yeah, he's shown that. Yeah, I'm sure if he comes back and he's fully healthy, I think he probably will be. I hope he does. I think they will be a tough squad to beat, but I still have Lakers in six. I think LeBron's just been here too many times. Like, and at this point, he's not even needed to play his best. I think he still could turn it up. I still don't think we've seen like Bron at his max potential in these playoffs yet, at least in the first couple games. Um, I think if he needs to, he'll turn it up, and probably is going to save himself for the later rounds because he knows it's going to get tough after that. So yeah, Lakers in six there. And then yeah, we got Western Conference Finals. I got Lakers and Thunder. Now this is probably like the last team that I wanted to see in the West for the Lakers. So it's probably makes sense that this is probably how it would turn out. But yeah, either way, I have the Thunder in six here. I think they're just going to be too much. The Lakers will be a little bit worn out. LeBron, this is probably when age will start catching up to him a bit. Like it's going to be hard going through three series at the age of 40. So I think his production will start slacking. It's going to come down to a Luca carry job for a couple games. I think that's what we could sneak. But other than that, I think especially if Shea heats up, he hasn't been doing all that much so far in the playoffs. But if he heats up, yeah, they're going to be a pretty unstoppable team in the West. And then for my Eastern Conference Finals, I have Boston beating out the Cavs in six. I think for pretty much the exact same reasonings. I think the Celtics are like going to do the equivalent of what the Thunder would do to the Lakers, but to the Cavs. Uh, but yeah, I say Boston in six there. I think JT and Jalen Brown are going to go back and forth having like better games than each other. Probably very similar to how it was in last year's playoffs
Yep.
for this Boston run. Yeah.
All right.
So
You finish your finals pick too. I want to hear it.
okay, yeah. So then my finals pick between the Thunder and the Celtics, I have the Celtics winning that in six. I think this just comes purely down to the fact that the Celtics were exactly here a year ago. They've been here multiple years now. This is like familiar territory for them, coming straight off of a finals win again versus this OKC team who is insanely young, and this is the first time any of their players are going to be seeing the finals. Pretty much, I think probably. Actually, I have no idea who's on their roster, but um, I don't think anyone's been this far. So um, I think that's just going to be too much pressure for their young players. I think the Celtics are going to have. It's going to be like one of those like cakewalk 6 game series. Like it's not even going to feel like it was six. It's going to feel like it was less. That's how
Yeah.
I think it's going to go.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair take. I have similar stuff. Thunder versus Warriors season series was split. I got the Thunder winning. Just think they're a better team. Obviously, they don't have nearly as much experience. Super young. I do think they're better coached. Um, I don't really believe in Steve Kerr as a coach. I don't think he makes the right personnel choices on the court. A lot of times, it takes him a lot of time to make in-game adjustments. Um, I personally just see the Thunder winning in six. Um, and then Cavs and Celtics. I think it's going to seven, but I still have the Celtics winning. That season series was also a split, but um, I don't recall. I think some players might have been out during the season series, but I still have Celtics. I just don't think the Cavs are quite there yet. Maybe a couple more years with Kenny Atkinson. I say it's still difficult. Like Evan Mobley's playing at an elite level. I don't think it's enough. I think the Celtics just have too much going on over there. And then I'm gonna go the other way. I think Thunder and Celtics in the finals. I think the Thunder take it. Probably a hot take, considering how much experience the Celtics have in the playoffs. I think Jason Tatum's basically been in the up until the Eastern Conference Finals, or at least this yeah, he's been there. He's been to the second round or like the Eastern Conference Finals. I think damn near his entire freaking career. So yeah, it's not uncharted territory for them. But by the way, the Thunder did sweep the season series 2 games. Um, so it could go the other way, but I personally think I'm a huge believer in the Thunder, and I think they win in six. So I have the Thunder in six in the finals, and Dinal has the Celtics in six. You said right?
Yeah.
You
Celtics
said
in six.
six. Okay. So yeah, that was our playoff bracket. It took a little bit longer than we would have wanted. But I guess we can quickly go over some of the main award picks that we had.
Yep.
Um, so for award picks, I think we're both on the same page with this. Uh,
That's it.
it's Nikola Jokic, right?
He's
You could
by
make the
far.
argument. Yeah, you can make the argument that SGA is having a better season, but the the question, the award name is most valuable player, not best player of the year, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
it's not like offensive player of the year or defensive player of the year. It's most valuable player. You take Jokic off that team, I don't even think they're a playing team. Who's their go-to option than Jamal Murray? That's not getting the job done.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think I was talking about the mic'd up moments and whatnot. He's got the clipboard in his hand. He's calling out plays and stuff. Like his defensive. He's not the best all-ball defender, but if you see his defensive IQ in some of the replays versus the Clippers, he's seeing things. He knows he's not a good defender, so if he sees something, he tells Aaron Gordon to get out there, to get ready before he sees something coming, right? And I think that's a big part about being a leader and a MVP caliber player in the league is knowing your weaknesses and putting your ego aside also, which is a very intangible thing when it comes to MVP. But I think his defensive IQ is very underrated. What do you think?
So yeah, I fully agree. I mean, I think the voter fatigue is going to hit. He's already won three of these motherfuckers, so giving him a fourth is just going to be like it's going to pain the NBA. So I don't think they'll do it. I think this award's going to go to Shea. But yeah, my pick for MVP would 100% be Jokic. He had the fourth ever triple double season and the first ever for a big man. Um, he's he's averaging like what only a couple points less than Shea, but he's absolutely clearing him on the boards and assists and steals even. So uh, I think Jokic had. I don't think any NBA player has ever finished top five in what or top 10 in all of the five major stats, and Jokic finished top three in like all of them. So it's like literally a season that's never been done before.
It's
I
never
think
been done. Yeah,
I think that warrants an MVP, but I'm
and
not
I
sure
think
how it's gonna
it's
go.
awfully similar, in my opinion. It's awfully similar to what we saw in um, in the NFL MVP race this season. I think what did who had a better record? Was the Bills had did the Bills have a better record? All right,
Than the
what
Ravens. Yeah,
yeah, well, whatever the case might be, I guess you can't fault Shea for having a better team and having an all star in his team in Jalen Williams.
yeah,
But the fact of the matter is, Josh Allen, he was a one man show, right? He was doing
yeah.
everything for them. Um, Lamar had a great season. He probably had a better season, but you still have Derrick Henry, a 2,000 yard rusher, and people say they go hand in hand. But I think it's a similar thing type of deal. But yeah, I still have Jokic winning MVP this year, and I don't know if he will because of voter fatigue is a stupid ass thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's probably how it's gonna end up going. You want to let's skip defensive player of the year. Evan Mobley won today, so let's just skip that.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, we can go to most improved player. You want to
Okay.
talk about it?
So yeah, for me, it's gonna be honestly between Austin Reeves and Cade Cunningham. I think this is how the race will probably go down. So Austin Reeves, from last year went from averaging what like 15.5 something points to above 20 this year. So his role stepped up. Obviously, things like the AD trade kind of threw things off, so he had to take up a little bit of a bigger role while like Luca started was getting adjusted, and I think he filled those shoes pretty well. He um, he really took up a good like offensive role for the team, especially with Braun's production going down a bit this year, especially with his age. I think Reeves was able to like fill that gap, which is why we didn't see the Lakers drop off record wise and why they're still the third seed. I think he's a huge contributing factor. But then, yeah, I'd say Cade's case on the other hand is honestly like he didn't improve a whole lot from last year. He was already like really pretty solid last year, but his numbers still did get better. Uh, and I think his biggest thing is the Pistons turnaround. They went from like being a terrible team last year to in the playoffs this year and like pretend like even taking games in the first round. So I think he's the major reason for that. So he should be considered for this award, but I think just the fact that he was already like so good while Austin Reeves was more of like a role player who took up like a bigger role now. I think he deserves like that most improved title.
I think it gets a little murky because historically speaking, most improved players are usually all stars. I feel like the
Mm,
year that they win it, and I
yeah,
think that's why people are so quick to give it to Cade. I completely disagree. I don't think Cade should be in the contention at all. I'd rather have a player go from like 7 points a game to like you know 15 points a game, then go from 22 to 26 points a game. Like, what kind of fucking jump is that?
you know who did that? Exactly what you just said. It was Dyson Daniels, who was my third option. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. It's tough. In my opinion, I agree with the Reeves pick. He's averaging the same amount of minutes and better production with a better role. They did they really trusted him when they got rid of D'Lo, their main passing guard. They said, we're gonna get rid of him, and I thought they were gonna get another, like facilitating guard to fill his role, but
mm,
I guess they fully trusted Austin Reeves to be that playmaker.
yeah,
And now it helps because you have Luca and LeBron, who are also some of the best passers in the league. But Reeves is a pretty. I mean, the stats. I think he's averaged only like 5 assists, but he's a lot better passer playmaker than the stats would show. Um, Averaging 20 points per game. He's not. He's not. he's not an all-star, but I think he's an all-star caliber player, and he's probably the one of the best third options in the league. So that would be my pick, but he's not even a top five leader for the odds somehow.
Yeah.
So if it's not him, I'm gonna actually take Ivica Zubac,
Mhm.
just because his defense, his leap to how good he is as a defender now is, I think, it's commendable. He's a great defender. He is for the most of the season. He was the second option on that team until Kawhi came back. Him and Harden were running the show. Norman Powell, but I don't think he gets the props that he deserves, and he would definitely be my pick if it wasn't Austin Reeves.
It's fair. Like Zubac now is dropping a good like 20 a night. Like he's consistent like that, and having like the title as like probably like the best person to match up against Jokic. Like after all the glazing we just did for Jokic, like it just goes to show how good we think Zubac is. Then.
Yeah, no, he's freaking good. I think he's a top five center probably.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh
and then with that, I'll give you my coach of the year pick. With Without any bias, I think it should be Ime Udoka. Okay, I
yeah,
think he took a .500 team last year. It's like not even a playing team with an identical roster, damn near. No, it's an identical roster, and he took them to the second seed. That is ridiculous, and he's not even a top five leader in betting odds for coach of the year. I don't know how, but they have fucking JJ Redick is the top five in odds. I think the last time I checked. I don't know how. Like what I don't know what it is. I don't know what I think he just the league doesn't like Ime Udoka. I think probably with whatever shit he did with Nia Long
scandals.
or during whatever, and we cheated on Nia Long. People probably like bent sideways over that. I don't know what it is, but normally when you take a borderline lottery, we had a lottery pick this year. We were a lottery team, and he took us to the second seed, and he's not even a leading candidate. I don't know, but that would be my pick. How about you?
Yeah, so for me, it's between Ime and my other one's going to be the Cavs coach, Kenny Atkinson. I'd say so. He wasn't with the Cavs last year, so obviously he's walking into a team that was already a playoff team. So it's not quite the jump that Ime had the Rockets taking, but he led them in his first year coaching to a 64 win season, which is also like insane. Like
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
12 more wins than the Rockets had. So and yeah, you could say he has a better roster to work with, I think. But um, I still think, yeah, as his first season coaching this team, he also got them up to, yeah, the from the four seed up to the one. So I think that jump is also commendable. Um, Maybe not as much as the Rockets, but is this Coach of the Year award like a comparison to last year? Like I don't think we should treat it as like how much they jumped.
That's when it
But
gets a little confusing because if you look at JB Biggerstaff, he left the Cavs, and they got better with Kenny
right,
Atkinson, but he also went to the Pistons, and he took them from being like the worst team in the league to they're in a dogfight with the Knicks now. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to look at it from an alternate season point of view, but I think it's part of the deal.
yeah.
Okay, with that took a little bit longer than I would have wanted.